Who's ready for some candy bugs? Welcome back. I'm Christine. This is Mike, and I have a lot of candy. Well, had, because once again, I ate it all. Oops. But I saved the packaging. Yes, this is an Easter candy stash, which means this video is a little late. But who cares? Look, the hard candy is left. I also have this weird carrot filled with sugar. Ew. Jelly beans, my favorite. Let's start with these. By the way, if you're new here, I'm creating a world of monsters and they have a huge appetite. They love bugs, but bugs are creepy and gross. So the bugs that my monsters eat are actually made of candy. This is serious business. If the bugs aren't cute and they don't look delicious, the monsters won't eat them. The first specimen I decided to create is a jelly bean beetle. I'm keeping it simple by building the body using basic jelly bean shapes. But coloring this bug in isn't simple at all. I use a lot of different art supplies. Lately, I've been enjoying mixed media, so I thought it would be fun to share my process while I create this first bug. I'm starting with a thin base layer of acrylic paint. I usually keep this layer simple by either using a single solid color or blending two colors together to create a gradient that fades from dark to light. I carefully fill in all the shapes to make sure the jelly bean shape is recognizable. Now that I'm happy with that, I'm using some darker colored pencils to define the edges. This is the pen that I got from Sarah at So Craftastic, and I use it for work every day. I decided to use it to outline the areas where I wanted to emphasize the shadows a bit more, and it worked perfectly. I'm using my Sharpie Creative Marker to add my first layer of chunky highlights. I love Sharpie Creative Markers, and I love it for this because the white tends to blend into the color below it. It basically does the work for me. I use some of my gel pens to outline each jelly bean shape in its corresponding color. This outline is normally referred to as the rim highlight. A rim highlight illuminates the edges of an object, separating it from the background. Last but not least, I finish it off with my white Flymax paint pen. This paint pen always gives me the whitest and brightest highlights. And the jelly bean bug is complete. Tasty. Since jelly beans are my favorite, I was inspired to create another little bug based on my favorite creepy crawly, the pill bug. Now, pill bugs are also known as roly-polies, but you know what? These little guys aren't actually bugs at all. They're crustaceans. You know, like crabs and shrimp. How cool is that? However, my imaginary jelly bean roly-poly is in fact a bug, because I said so, and because I gave it a zillion little legs. Ooh, lots of legs tend to creep me out when it comes to bugs, but this little guy is cute. I'm planning on turning all of the bugs I make today into a sticker sheet, and I can't wait to make this one into a bunch of different colors. I've never seen milk chocolate covered Peeps before, which is why I was so eager to eat this. My only regret was not buying more. I enjoyed it so much, it's a shame that I only bought one. These bug videos are super special because you helped me come up with the best ideas. So when someone mentioned creating a chocolate covered cricket, I had to do it. I thought I could use the inspiration from this chocolate-covered Peep to help me make it look delicious. I wanted to match the brown to the color used on the packaging. And since this is a marshmallow-filled candy, I also gave my cricket a marshmallow filling. When I create illustrations like this, I like to Google whatever I'm creating to see if there's something similar to what I have in mind. Unfortunately, if you Google chocolate-covered cricket, you don't see playful and fun illustrations of happy little crickets. Oh no. I wasn't prepared for what I was about to find. Apparently chocolate-covered bugs are a thing, including chocolate-covered crickets. I was horrified. I saw so many bugs covered in chocolate. I can't believe that people actually eat these. If one of you enjoys eating chocolate-covered bugs, like, you have to let me know in the comments. I need to talk to you. You have to tell me why. I just need to know who's eating these. Anyway, according to the images that I was looking at on Google, I determined that my cricket needs thicker legs. And now I can't stop saying, Hercules, Hercules. It looks like this chocolate-covered cricket could start a fight and win. Am I crazy? I can't be the only one who sees it. The next bug is inspired by rock candy. And again, this was an idea that you guys came up with. I have the most creative audience. I need to stop and say thank you so much for being here. You are wonderful. Thank you for helping me come up with ideas and trusting me to bring them to life because this is so much fun. I thought rock candy would make the perfect dragonfly. I'm trying to keep the colors as similar to the candy as possible. Originally, I only wanted the dragonfly's body to be the candy, but I decided to add the same texture to the wings, and I think it ties the whole thing together. As much as I love this concept, it would be so difficult for a human to eat. I mean, where would you start? The head? Maybe the wings? Thankfully, these candies are for my monsters and not me. I already had enough candy. I don't need any more. This was the first time I've ever had cotton candy Peeps. They came out with so many different flavors this year, but I think this one was my favorite. One bug that screams spring to me is the bumblebee. They just happily fly around when the weather starts to get warm and the flowers start to bloom. Ugh, spring, you just gotta love it. Instead of painting the bee yellow, I'm painting it pink and yellow to match the cotton candy Peeps packaging. I'm also trying to kind of match the outside of the Peeps. This is what the cotton candy Peeps actually look like. They have these fun speckled spots that I'm realizing mine don't have. So we're just gonna ignore that. I still included all of the colors that you could find in the packaging, so I think it's okay. After all, the candy itself is just the inspiration to help inspire me to create some fun candy bugs. Yep, I'm going with that. Most importantly, it looks tasty, and if I had to guess, I would think that this bumblebee tastes like cotton candy, so I think I did good. There were so many Peeps products in the store, I couldn't help myself. These suckers are blue, pink, and yellow, and I wanted to create a bug using all three of these colors, so I decided to create a mighty little ant. I made each segment of the body a different color to match the suckers. I also plumped this little guy up a bit for more substance and nourishment. I mean, he's gotta be thick enough to feed the monsters and make them feel satisfied, right? I think all of these colors make it look very tasty and delicious. The last thing I added was a stem to make it incredibly easy to eat. If you can imagine eating this, that is. I don't even want to think about what all those legs would feel like in my mouth, but for monsters, it works. My monsters are going to love this. If you recall, I mentioned my monster universe at the beginning of this video. All of these bugs can be found in Sweet Candy Kingdom, which is the candy realm in my universe. This is also where the most powerful candy exists. A candy so creative that it oozes with the power and creativity to wake up the creative spark. And this is the candy that Benny and the Dragon are on their way to find. It's called the Cosmic Lollipop. I decided to change the name of it from the last video because I think Cosmic Lollipop sounds a lot better than Cosmic Lemon Pop. Hopefully it was the right decision. Sorry. Hold up though, if you're new and have not seen all of the stories embedded in my recent videos, go ahead and click on the playlist that just popped up on the screen and then come back. You're gonna love it so much. Back to the story, the Cosmic Lollipop is so bright you can see its glow all the way from Art Supply Land. But for some reason, the closer Benny and the dragon got, the darker Sweet Candy Kingdom became. A dark storm cloud started to engulf the land and cover up the beautiful glow from the cosmic lollipop. This has to be the work of one of the dark creatures that came through the portal in episode 1. The dragon warned us that some of the creatures would harm the land, and our heroes are about to be face to face with the most evil creature of all. There it is! The dragon pointed to a small robot standing next to the lollipop. What is it doing? Benny asked. It's draining the energy from the cosmic lollipop. Stop right there! The dragon roared as he knocked the robot off of its feet. Benny wasted no time and he quickly grabbed a shard of the lollipop to take back to the creative spark. All she needs is a taste of it to wake back up. Hello, my name is Artie. I am simply perfecting the world, removing the mess and the mistakes. I am creating perfect lines, perfect color, and perfect art. But everything is turning gray, shouted Benny. Perfect color, perfect color, perfect color, Artie repeated. As the robot seemed to be malfunctioning, the sky grew darker. Benny slowly backed away and jumped onto the dragon's back. The dragon flew as quickly as he could back to Art Supply Land, where they gave the creative spark the lollipop shard, and her eyes finally opened. There are 2 more videos until the conclusion of this story, but I'm curious, do you know who Artie is supposed to be? Let me know in the comments below, and if you want to catch up on the previous videos, go ahead and check out this playlist, and we'll see you there.